Given how scarce Bitcoin is it possible that as ETF monies come in, it could go through the roof at a significant higher rate than, say, Solana? My bet has always been to be in Solana and other alts so that I could eventually move it to Bitcoin. Am I missing a beat by having a Solana bag that's 12 times the size of my pure Bitcoin bag? Also, counting my proxies to Bitcoin, miners, MicroStrategy, my total Bitcoin bag is 2x my Solana bag. So this is an interesting question, and I've gone through some of the gyrations you have as well over the past year and a half, determining exactly how to allocate. But then my allocations get completely skewed, literally badly skewed, because certain things move way faster than other things. So let's talk about a quick summary of kind of what you said, make sure I understand. One, you are 8% Bitcoin in pure form and 92% Solana, which means, yes, you have time for a rebalance. However, you do have proxies like MicroStrategy and Bitcoin miners, and you are 33% in that case, Sol, 67% Bitcoin and Bitcoin proxies. So it's not catastrophic. Pure form, yes, you are light. Proxies, no, you're not. And that has been the way to play it actually this whole season, which is the correct way to go. Next, let's look at some targets. Now, there is that potential, and I completely buy into it and believe it, that, you know, what has me fascinated with Bitcoin since the beginning of time is its scarcity. Never before have we had an asset that is absolutely finite and scarce. Also, it's very small, and the amount of money coming in real soon is going to blow it through the roof. The question is, how high can it go? So let's look at this little chart here, which is from my 2024 targets. And from all these different targets, you know, we have a low of 60,000 going all the way up to $500,000. The question is, where do you want to play? So I like to take a whole bunch of different targets and create an average. And the average is 151K or 3.44x. I think if Bitcoin went to 150K, we'd all be rejoicing, considering the beautiful bear market we had and what an opportunity it was to buy so cheap. 15,500, 16,000. We were buying at 17.5 and less for a long time. It was magnificent. But imagine going from, say 17.5, 15K, or 20K even, all the way up to 150. That's mind-blowing for such a big asset, which is actually a very small asset in the scheme of things. So assuming this, Bitcoin could do a 3.44x. But if all the money comes in, if the bond market and the pension funds start rolling into Bitcoin, we could see a lot more. We've never, ever seen a money flow, a tsunami coming in with such a scarce asset. So it's going to be fascinating to watch. But anyway, I think 3.44 is achievable if the spot ETFs get approved and the money comes in like we expect. Now, the base case for Solana, I believe, is a 3.9x from where we are today, and that assumes it gets 3% of Bitcoin dominance, the total crypto dominance, and the total crypto market cap goes to $5 trillion. That'll give it $150 billion market cap, and that is kind of like 3.9x from where we are today, taking us up to $363. So you get a higher return potentially from Solana, but you have to also remember there's kind of my risk curve, which I've reallocated a few names, a couple of new names here on this risk curve, which I've been using for a long time. And down the left, you can see that Bitcoin is lower risk than Solana. And now Ethereum is higher risk than Solana, in my opinion, because of relative market caps and adoption and everything else. Then we have Near Protocol and Sui, etc. Aptos is there too, Tron popping in there too, all based on speed, adoption, breadth of dApps, all that type of stuff goes into account here. And I know people that may have something way out on the risk curve, more risk, but not necessarily more return as well. Sometimes things are high risk and low return, so you got to balance that out too. So back to your question, are you okay? Let's see. Could it moon faster? It's a tough question. We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We got models. We don't have a crystal ball. But yes, because of scarcity, it could definitely moon faster. But what's very important is as the crypto market cap does rise, it will float all boats, which means other altcoins, other assets will do well over time as well. In addition, I don't see Bitcoin rising in isolation. It may run a little bit faster sometimes, but the rest will catch up and the rest will be along for the ride. So there you are. It's the base case for Sol is 3.9x from here and Bitcoin is 3.4x. So they're very tight. But again, you have to balance your risk and that's up to you to determine. But I like the way you have some proxies and a heavy load of them as well. And sometimes that's a great on-ramp as well for many people who don't want to self-custody. They use proxies. And that's why proxies are wonderful.